Can people help?
Yeah, you see, people can help when...
In light of what the civilian JTF did in the past.
You see, the civilian JTF, the people can help only if they are sure that they have a leadership that can, one, protect them in all its ramifications, and two, support. How did the civilian JTF fizzle out? Because they saw that they were, breaking new grounds and assisting, the military in, foiling some attacks. Then there were all kinds of complaints, all kinds of arguments about, they are civilian JTF, and then within the twinkle of an eye, they fizzled out. So I'm saying that the people can only help if they find a leadership that they are sure can protect them, believe in what they are doing.
Okay, let me bring this in, because as much as it's unfortunate that this is going on, and one wonders, we have there are also Nigerians in the military, our brothers. Some of them are dying as a result of this fight, while our other brothers are also dying in a part of the north as part of these attacks. But one doesn't believe that they're just folding their arms, and not doing anything about this. Some of the stories that are making the rounds in the media, for instance, when they're reporting cases of distress call, and then it takes a lot of time, it takes hours before response gets to those areas. We've heard governors say this, we have some citizens say this, and then you hear that even though they say they debunked it, some military checkpoint was withdrawn before the attack in a federal government college, and that all of this matters. Does it appear to you as though, as they pop up in the media, they are being picked up by the authorities, civilian or military, and they're dressed so that people can actually see that we're doing what we need to do in this fight?
I mentioned earlier that there seemed to be failure of leadership in all of this. You see, if I'm in a position of authority and there are this kind of allegations, rather than passing the buck, there's the need to investigate it. And look, for goodness sake, the chief of defense staff cannot sit in Abuja and be fighting insurgency in Borno.
Why? Does it have to be physical?
It has to be on the field. The base, they have to move into where the insurgency is.
How does that help?
I'll tell you.
Motivation, encouragement, or what?
Motivation, one. Two, you see, we are all Nigerians. A lot of eye service goes around and all that. If, for example, there's a top military echelon in Borno, and all of these are, if, for example, true or false, the military was withdrawn and then the attack came, if we had proper intelligence, there could be counter instruction to say, okay, at this moment there are nobody there, okay, send another contingent to go there and see how they can salvage the situation. The point I'm making is that, look, we need, to take extra measures to confront this hydra-headed problem.
One of the things that has also been pointed out is the politicization of this crisis. How do you think that we can divorce politics from the issues? Is it that when politicians talk about it, it immediately becomes, politics? Or it's very complex, isn't it?
You see, at the root of the Boko Haram crisis itself is a lot of politics. And it's difficult to divert politics from it. The only thing we can do is deal with it. Deal with it. Boko Haram started as a mere sect. At some point, they were courted by some governors. In fact, I read at some point that they were on the payroll of maybe the Bauchi state governor and I think Kano or so. And then when that governor left, the other one came in because he was not giving them, I think, about 5 million or so. Then they started to, foment some trouble, and then, and that some politicians also, courted them during campaigns, armed them and all that. So at the root of it itself is a lot of a lot of politics. So we cannot, divorce it. But I'm saying that, look, once there's a political leadership at the head of the Leviathan, in this case, I'm saying the president. I mean, he's an executive president, for goodness sake. So if a senator, for example, is mentioned as a sponsor and all that, that senator needs to be investigated thoroughly. If he's found culpable in any way, the laws of the land should, be brought to bear on him.
But one of them is the matter is still in court at the moment, and so
it can be in
the
court
rules of justice
till eternity.
Slowly.
Also, we should also rework, the wheel of our justice, so that because justice delayed is justice denied. And for how long will we put a case in court and Boko Haram will kill 3,000 today, kill 5,000 tomorrow, kill 24,000 tomorrow, and the case is in court?
But the thing about it is that that we cannot also exactly judge.
That's what I'm saying.
Strategy.
Try them speedily.
No, you heard the American envoy say that look, you can't exactly judge the performance of the security agencies because of one or two or three of these incidents as it is. But yes, they need our support, as Alex Bade has said. Let's look at this part where lots of people are asking the authorities here, we need to do something about attack from Cameroon areas and then they flee back into those areas. Can we actually get into another sovereign territory in the guise of pursuing insurgents?
Why not?
I thought policy said, look, they're sovereign states.
Oh yes, but once your sovereignty is creating problem for my own sovereignty, we need to do something. America, the self-acclaimed policeman of the world, went into Pakistan, to say that, look, this guy cannot sit here and then be controlling the whole world and be creating problems for my. That may not be absolutely right, but when you are dealing with a situation like this, nothing should be too much. For example, the president of the country can call his Cameroonian or whoever Cameroonian counterpart to say, look, this is the situation. And I, as president of Nigeria, it's Nigeria's national interest, for goodness sake, that we're talking about. And the person who is constitutionally saddled with the responsibility of, advancing that interest is the head of state. Indeed, is the commander-in-chief. So he could let them know in Cameroon that unless you support us in this fight against terrorism, or we identify you as partners and crush you along with the insurgency. All these arguments about crossing into Cameroon for me is passing the buck and is escapist and cannot serve the interests of Nigerians, given the fact that a lot of Nigerians are dying.
All right, Dr. Dele Ashiru of the Political Science Department, University of Lagos. Thank you for coming on this morning.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.